Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. um, it is December 2nd, and every day has been in the mid 70s here in Alabama. Um, Certainly doesn't feel like Christmas to me. That feels like Christmas to me, but yeah, not so much the weather. Um, I say the same thing every year here. I don't expect a blizzard or you know, anything like that. But weather that's cool enough to have to put a jacket on would make it feel a little more like Christmas. So I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving last week. We had a pretty good day. A lot of food, of course, too much food. Um, and then Sunday we went to go get our Christmas tree, that monstrosity in the background there, that is entirely too big for our house, but I love it. So um, when we went to go get the Christmas tree, it was again in the high 70s, and everybody was out there in t-shirts, and it's just so crazy to me. So crazy to me, having grown up in New England, and Christmas feels completely different. At least it's not the same as when we were in Florida. In Florida, like, you're surrounded by beach. So it's interesting. But anyway, um, so now we've started on Christmas festivities. Advent has started. I'm doing homeschool activities for that, and got the tree up there. The kids put probably the majority of the ornaments on it, and I have issues with perfect ornament placement, so I haven't tackled that yet, but I've actually had a dream already that I came down in the middle of the night and moved ornaments around. So anyway, that is something that I just can't get around every year. Things are too close together or not high enough up or whatever. I have to move them around. So let's see what else is going on. So of course I did not eat well on Thanksgiving. I made homemade tiramisu, and I also made pecan pie cheesecake, which neither I needed, and of course felt awful afterwards. But I have done pretty well on my diet the last few days, except lunch yesterday. When we went out for lunch yesterday, I just had a sandwich and the bread killed me. I am on a uh, diet now where I have to be more aware of my carbohydrates and my sugars, and so that's very difficult for a lot of people, and it's even more difficult for an Italian that loves pasta and desserts and things of that nature. So anyway, I will survive and it'll be fine. I'm learning some meals that I can have in place of other meals, which are still super comforting. For those of you that have asked, I'm following pretty much the kind of plan, I guess, that it is on Trim Healthy Mama, because I have some of the same issues that they talk about on that website. So it seemed like a pretty good fit for me to follow that. And it goes along, honestly, pretty well with TerraFit. I just needed more guidance as far as those carbs are concerned, and but that's what's great. That's what's great. Like what I told you guys before about TerraFit is that, you know, it's really planned with everyone in mind, because not everyone is the same. We all have different needs, and nutritionally and with exercise, and you can really customize it for what's best for you. And so I really appreciate that about the program, and we'll continue that in the new year sometime. So let's see what else. What else today? My daughter is competing in the Miss Pieces of Hope pageant on Saturday to raise money for the local autism group. As of last night, before we went to sleep, she had raised over $400 for the group, and that amount goes towards her being in the running for the Christmas ambassador angel, and she was already crowned ambassador earlier in the year in the regular pageant. So we're really hoping for another win this time. We're not a pageant family. We don't typically do pageants. But with so many friends of ours affected by autism and other learning disorders, and other autism spectrum disorders, this was something that was important for us to do, and something great that she could kind of take the reins on and let us know what she wanted to do. And so I'm excited for that. And we're giving away a gift basket today, later on this evening, and drawing a name from everybody that has donated so far. And but I'm hoping that we will get a good amount more before Saturday. That would be great. Her goal was $750, and then we kind of tiered it and said, okay, well, let's get to $500, and then we'll go for $750 after that. So she is super close to that $500, and I'm hoping that she gets there. If you are interested in donating to that, you can go to www.justdetermined.com and click on philanthropy from the drop down at the top, and you'll see her photo there, and there's a donate button right below the photo. So you can do that if that's something that's interest to you this year. So that's coming up, and then next weekend we have we're going caroling, and with some friends at a nursing home, and so that will be fun. And there's all kinds of stuff. There's always so much. Excuse me. There's always so much that we want to do, for the holidays, but it's so funny to me because when we have nothing that we want to do, time just drifts along. And like during the day, when my husband has a particularly long day at work, and of course it's a day when the kids are acting up, and a day when we really don't have anything specific planned, the day just stretches out forever. But Christmas time, yeah, I mean, we just lose. It feels like we're skipping days. It goes so fast. So I am attempting to get the house finished. You can see boxes in the background here. That's still from the Christmas stuff. I would love to show you guys some of our Christmas things, and I will do that once I finish with the house a little bit. That's the only thing that I'm really I am still struggling. You guys, if you listen to any of my earlier videos, we went from a fairly large home with 5 bedrooms to a 3-bedroom condo. And I really don't have any issues with the size of the condo because I think that it's actually a pretty good fit for us. But something that I struggle with as being a big family is room for storing things. We do have a big storage shed outside, but I had inherited all this stuff from my mother and my grandmother for the holidays and decorations and things like that. And so in order to fit the box into the storage shed I took fall, Thanksgiving, and Halloween stuff out at the same time. There was a huge box of that. In order to fit all that back into the storage shed, we had to take out all the Christmas stuff. And so now we have all these boxes we're trying to break down a little bit and put back in the storage shed just to pull back down in another month when Christmas is over. So there's just not a whole lot of room here. One thing that I did want to talk about today, and so that jogged my memory, I watched a video recently from another mother who has 6 children, and she had some really amazing organizational tips, and 2 things really got me and inspired me about that video. It was a long video. It was like an hour and a half. It was a conference that she did or something, a talk that she did about organization in her home. 2 things really got me, and I'm implementing them as we speak. The first one is an app, and I'm thinking that's just what we need around here. But I am so happy with it so far. I think it's going to take a while for us to all get on board with it. But anyway, it's called Wunderlist, Wunderlist. And you can put it on your computer, and you can upload it to your iPhone, to your Android, to your other computers, to your touchpads, pretty much any piece of electronics that you have. There's an app for it. Several different operating systems, and so you upload them all, and instead of getting different accounts for all of us, I just have my one master account, and I have myself signed in on all of the computers, or in my computer, the kids' computer, and my husband's iPhone. And it's super simple. So it makes lists, and you can make different kinds of lists. So I have made a list for each one of us that are to-do lists. So things that we need to get done for the day. And I also have a list for, and this was coming straight from her idea, I have a list for every room in the house. And the reason that I've done this, and I'm so glad that she pointed this out to me, is because, first of all, it's hard to get on the same page with everyone in a large family when it comes to cleaning and organizing your home. It's hard to know what everybody's doing, and frankly, it's a lot of arguing and a lot of heartache for something that gets messed up 5 minutes later. And there's a lot of, well, I didn't know that I was supposed to do that, so that's why I didn't do it. And then things don't get done. So basically, my lists say that the kitchen is done if. And that's my one list. And it lists everything that needs to be complete in order for the kitchen to be clean. The living room is done if, and it lists everything in the living room that needs to be done. The dining room, we have kind of a great room here, so I've split it up into kitchen, dining room, living room, and homeschool area, because I feel like those are smaller areas and easier to tackle. Because sometimes maybe everything be clean in the living room and the dining room, but the homeschool area, like everything's pulled out or something. So, you know, you may not need anything. Anyway, so you've got this list, and the kids can then, now I can go on their to-do list and say, you know, to my oldest son, you must complete the kitchen chores. So then he can go on his computer or his touchpad and click on the kitchen is done if, and literally go down the list, and he can click it and check it off. Now, as he's clicking it, it will pop up on my computer and say that it is complete. And there's no, I mean, honestly, she was I need to get her name. I should have written it down, but I will, I will put the information about who did this talk later on, as soon as I get it, because I want to make sure that she gets credit, because it's completely changing how I've thought of things. Sometimes as moms, we feel like we're always like, do this, do this, do this, do this all day long, especially for a stay-at-home mom. And we homeschool, this is all we do all day long. And it's constant nagging and constant, well, I told you to do this. But when you have that list, it's almost like it's not coming from you. It's coming from the list. So there's no one for them to be mad at. There's no one for you to nag because they're going down the list. Now, mind you, I told you that we're learning here. It's not a complete perfection yet. You know, there's still especially with my sons, there's still the stay on task. What are you supposed to be doing? Are you supposed to be looking out the window right now? But they also know that if they don't complete the list and somebody else has to complete the list for them, then they are not going to be rewarded for that. So, and so that was the first thing Wunderlist is what it is, just to remind you the name. And I love that it syncs through all your devices. My husband can be at work and click on it and see what my kids are doing. My husband can ask me to do something before he leaves in the morning, and I can add it to my list, and he can see if I've been able to get it done yet. I have a grocery list too. That's the other thing, because my husband does the shopping when he comes home on his way home from work usually. And I will put food, and he'll say, okay, I'm leaving work now. And I can literally watch the different things being checked off as he finds them. Or he can put a note, hey, I couldn't find this. You need to let me know where to go. He can put a note right in the app. And so it's something, you know, I'm not always big into technology right now because I feel like a lot of it is just wasteful. We say we're going to use it and we don't, but that is something really neat. The second thing that I took was her family closet. Now, this is not an idea exclusive to her by any means, because a lot of large families do a family closet. But this is where I really appreciated her viewpoint on it and how she organizes hers. Several other large families live in a large home, and they actually have a huge room dedicated to their family closet. We don't have that kind of space here. I saw another one where they did not live in a large home, but they turned their master bedroom closet into their family closet. Again, that it doesn't work for us. And the other thing is that all of our bedrooms here are upstairs and our laundry room is downstairs. Now, when I got to thinking, right next to our laundry room, we have a shoe closet. Now, it's got a lot of stuff in there. There are a lot of shoes, and there are coats, and my husband's tools and things like that. But I believe because that is right next to the washer and dryer, it's stacked in a thing, there's no laundry room, that I think that that's going to be used for our family closet. So, we are, and essentially what it is, instead of, when you have a lot of children, instead of them putting things in their own closet, because honestly, the girls cannot handle their own closet right now. I will hang things and fold things till the cows come home, and every piece of clothes by the end of the day will be on the floor because they're in there playing dress up or something else, and it's just not working. I have felt so overwhelmed and so frustrated by the laundry lately. It has caused me the most ridiculous amount of stress. I literally have a mountain of laundry upstairs right now and another mountain down here, and it's like I I almost don't even want to do it because I know that as soon as I do it, it's going to be on the floor and mixed in with other things, and that's the end of that. So, the idea of the family closet is you're going to have bins or drawers where everything is by size. So, her examples, she had, for example, boys 10, 12 long, and boys 10, 12 short. So the short ones were, clothes that were short sleeves or shorts. The long had long pants and long sleeves. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. So, and then everything is done by sizes. So rather than saying this drawer is for Clay's clothes or this drawer is for Nina's clothes, it is done simply by sex than by size. So my son, my one son is in a 10-12 right now. Now, if he comes to me one day and says, okay, these pants are tight or they're short, he would put them back and then I would move him up to the next drawer. So I would say, okay, now you're going to be taking from, say it's summer, you're going to be taking from the 14-16 short drawer, and everything will be right there. What will be nice is that since the laundry room and the coat or shoe closet are directly next to each other, it's going to be very easy for me to get things in there as opposed to upstairs and divvied out between 3 bedrooms, which has just gotten to be a little bit too much for 7 of us. So that is a project that I'm going to be working on through this month. I have a ways to go because I have to buy enough bins that are going to fit in there. I have made a list of the sizes that we need. The good news is with the boys, we only have to, at this time, we only have to start with size 10, 12, and up because my boys are older. And with the girls, right now, I only have, 24 months and 2T through a 10, 12. So, if you don't have kids in certain sizes, if you're not expecting, you can, you could always store whatever size you're not using or get rid of them, whatever, donate them or sell them, consign them. You could do that if you wanted to. But I think this is a good way for us to go through go through our hand-me-downs and just get a good rotation going for that. So I am excited about implementing that because I think that with the way that our house is set up and with the amount of stress that I am under about the laundry right now, that is something that is going to work out really well for us. So I will update you guys as I go through that and let you know how I am doing with my projects. So I am super overtime this morning. I thank you guys for being with me today. The Just Determined Facebook page and the website are going to continue to be fairly quiet through the remainder of 2015 so that we can get a good jump start on things in 2016, which is going to be here in less than a month. So I will see you guys next week. I love y'all. Have a great day.